isolation of us. So, it kind of spread like a wildfire. Once a few of us started doing it, others saw the results. And actually, the growth of it within the teams is the same as the growth of it within society,
Mm,
meaning it happened because of word of mouth.
mm,
And people nowadays, Greg's a big, we're not going to do advertising, and the way it grows is because people talk about it.
yeah.
And that same thing happened there. I would start talking about it, other guys would start talking about their results, and then others would give it a try, and then from there, others would give it a try, and people would see that it works. That's how people come to gyms. That's how people get involved with it because they hear about it from their family friend who sees results. So back then, to answer your question, yeah, more and more guys started doing it. There was a point where I eventually went to basic underwater demolition SEAL training. I was a BUDS instructor, so come full circle. I was teaching people how to become SEALs to go through the training. And we were doing seminars for large groups of SEALs then. So yeah, now more than ever, or there was phases where, it's pretty much become, I don't want to say the norm, but there's also different versions of it and
Yeah.
bastardizations of it. And people say, oh, I'm not doing CrossFit, I'm doing this. But fundamentally, it is, CrossFit.
So for someone who because I think when everybody thinks of CrossFit, they've probably seen CrossFit workouts, etc. But what fundamentally is CrossFit? Because some people would just think it's different barbell complexes, right?
Yeah.
That's CrossFit for some people. But what would you define CrossFit as so the listeners know that is CrossFit?
Well, the definition we use in the course is constantly varied functional movement executed at high intensity. Really, what we're doing is we're taking a variety of functional movements, combining them in patterns, and combining them in unique patterns, usually low rep, sometimes mid rep, sometimes high rep, depending on what we're trying to get out of it. And we put the clock to it. So we have this component of work. So all of these movements combined together and these reps equal an amount of work. And whoever is able to complete that work faster is fitter than the other person.
Mm,
Sometimes people will say, hey, it's just HIIT training or it's just interval training. And well, we do use intervals in some of our workouts, but it's not interval training alone. HIIT training or the old, some of the old programs where they do, well, yeah, let's just take HIIT training as an example. That stuff would use isolation movements for the most part. And so it's not really that. And the thing is, other people will say it's been around forever. A lot of these movements have been around forever, but what has not was how we combine them and how we put them together and how we, I'd say, dose them on an individual. So, a workout could include 400-meter runs, deadlifts, and pull-ups. And we'd say, let's do 3 rounds of that. And you're going to do 15 pull-ups, 10 deadlifts, and run the 400.
yeah.
And it's going to be for time. And the for time part takes it to this place of performance to where actually, okay, next time you can do it 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later or 5 months later. And if your time improved, that means you're improving and there's actually results.